What's up everybody, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel. We have another Final Fantasy VII evercrisis video for you guys, and in this one, I'm going to be going over some interesting changes that were brought to my attention regarding some of the weapons in this game. There have been some changes that I found interesting. Some of them I found to be good, and then the other one I found to be not so good. I wasn't a big fan of it. We're going to go ahead and go into the draw system. First of all, I want to address that the Killer Hornet for Matt is not present in the game currently because that was on a banner with his costume on the closed beta, so that's currently not yet in the game. And then Barrett's micro laser is actually not in the game either. That weapon was originally on the Cloud Murasame banner in the closed beta, but it looks like it's currently not out yet. But then they did give us that really good weapon for him, by the way, which I actually think he's a lot better now with the weapon that they gave him alongside with his new costume. So that's just some of the things that are either missing or have been, we got something different that's currently present in the official launch, of this game. But the changes that I wanted to point out to you guys, we're gonna go ahead and look at Tifa's weapons. Two of her weapons literally got swapped with what they do. So the first one is going to be the leather glove. So originally, we're gonna take a look at it at its maximum potential. Originally, what this weapon did is it had a 940% physical single target attack, which was Tifa's highest, hardest hitting command skill coming from a weapon in terms of like single target damage. But instead what they did is they swapped it with Sonic Strikers. So Sonic Strikers was the weapon that originally dealt 540% physical non-elemental damage, and then you also have that physical attack down debuff. So that's really interesting that Leather Gloves has it instead of Sonic Strikers, but take a look at what they did to Sonic Strikers. So Sonic Strikers now essentially does what Leather Gloves used to do compared to the closed beta, but instead of 940%, it's at 990%. Currently, if I'm not mistaken, this is the only weapon in the game that has a 990% damage modifier, making this particular command ability to be the hardest hitting skill in terms of single target. So if you actually use Tifa, you might want to consider this weapon, because if you're gonna run her as like your primary damage dealer, especially for like boss fights where you want to be able to deal a massive amount of damage, this might be the weapon to go for because of that change that they did. So they literally swapped weapons and then they buffed one compared to how it was. So I really like this change that they made for Tifa. So Tifa fans rejoice. You might want to consider picking up this weapon. Now we're gonna go ahead and talk about the change that I was not particularly a fan of. So we're gonna go to Barrett. His W machine weapon. So originally this would deal damage and then you had that defense down debuff. Pretty cool, right? But what made it really cool in the closed beta is it cost only 2 ATB bars. Now it costs 4, and that kind of gutted me a bit because now you can't spam this nearly as often and it's not nearly as cost effective or essentially as good as it was compared to the closed beta. So I was a little bit disappointed by that because I really liked how it was a really cheap skill. And not only did they do that to Barrett, but they also unfortunately did it to Glenn. Let's find that weapon here. Here it is, his piece of cake. So as you can see right here, deals damage, physical defense is decreased, but instead of costing 2 ATB, now costs 4. So bit of a bummer there that they nerfed those, but I can kind of understand why, because maybe 2 costing skills, in a sense, that's a little bit OP that you could just spam that because it's so cheap, right? But those are the changes that were brought to my attention that I found were very interesting. Let me know down below in the comment section what you think. What do you think of the changes they made to Tifa's weapons? And what do you think of the changes they made to Barrett and Glenn's weapons, increasing the ATB cost of those skills? Thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and stay blessed, everybody.
Time.